Good noon to you, my friends. I'm really nervous about this. Let me show you it. Look, isn't it cute? Fancy making him with me today. Can you tell me if anybody's sort of like online quite soon? Can you see me quite straight? Because actually my phone is at an angle and I'm having a problem moving it. So if you want to join in and make one of these today, or of course you can save it for another day. It doesn't have to be a Santa, it could be a snowman, it could be a gnome, it could be anything you want to really. So I made him yesterday. He's actually for my lovely neighbour who gave me the bottle because we don't drink, so I'll be scouting around any of our friends that drink to give me their empty bottles. So I thought we would have a little go at making him today. And I'm really nervous because I did do one as a... Shush, boys, please. I know Storm's in your way. I know, but you can go past him. There's a big gap of about 1.5 meters. Yes, there is. Sorry about that, everybody. Don't forget to say hi when you jump on, will you? Hope you're having a super duper day so far. Good morning, Marissa. I hope you are well. So, I only have this bottle to work with. So I shall take this all out. Oh yeah, I was saying I did do one on YouTube, made a gnome, but it wasn't like a live video. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm hoping it won't take too long. We shall see. So I'm also not very tidy when I'm doing crafting. So I'm going to move you over here so you can, over the other side, so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Let me try and move myself. And I'm going to move that. Take you down a little bit. Will it go down any more so you can see the table? I'm sure it will. Hang on. I'm sure it will. Oops. Oops, I should have tried this out, shouldn't I? Hang on, let's try tilting you forward. There you go. That's going to work, isn't it? That's going to work. Okay. Right, so... we're going to start with our hat. I've used red felt. Obviously you can use any material really. I just wanted him to be a Santa, so he's a red felt kind of guy. So I'm going to fold it in half. This square is 11 by 11. What I did with this one was I felt it was a little bit on the small size. So rather than sort of like cutting out the hat slightly smaller, slightly larger, I cut out the sort of this bit slightly larger, which I didn't really need to do, but hey ho, I've done it now. And I did make a template of it, but I didn't make another one that was going to be slightly larger. That just would have been too easy for me, wouldn't it? Too easy. So what I'm going to do with a pencil, I'm just going to go along. Only I need to see this sort of line really, don't I? I'm going to go along there and then I'm going to go up. I don't know how well you can see that, if you can see it at all. You'll see it easier when I cut it out, won't you? That will be more sensible. Now, obviously you can do this by sewing, you can hand sew it, you can do it on the sewing machine. I do have a sewing machine at the moment, but I've got a problem with the bobbin. The bobbin won't sort of fill for some reason. So I'm having to do it by hand, which isn't really working very well, but still, I'm trying. I'm trying. So I'm using my glue gun, and very messy it is well. So please don't judge me. So let's have a look at how that's going to look. Yeah, that's going to be okay. That's going to be absolutely fine, I think. So I'm going to glue down here now. Mine is a very cheap glue gun. It hasn't got a particularly good point on it. And I have shaky hands, especially today because I'm feeling a bit nervous about doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Taking it really close to the edge. What's going on, boys? What's going on? It's like having children, isn't it, when you're trying to do something? And then I'm going to just sort of fold that over, press it down. Just hold it there for a few seconds. I know it's a bit crazy, isn't it, doing Christmassy things today, but I'm thinking about doing a craft fair, a Christmas craft fair. So I am sort of like starting to do a few bits and pieces. And you all know I love my gnomes. And then I saw this online and I thought, oh wow, that looks really cute and quite easy to do. And I love those twinkly bottles. I think they look really nice. A bit further down. I do love a glue gun, I must admit. If you're watching, I'd love to know if you do any crafts at all. What, you know, what sort of thing it is you do, what you enjoy. I really like it for what I call me time. Some people like to go and have their nails done or a spa or something or other like that. I like making gnomes. So just go down this last bit now. There we go. Fold that over and we just make sure that that's nice and dry before we go on and turn that inside out. So let's make a start on our beard. Now, I actually bought this in a really large bag full. Can you see? From Amazon. I don't know what it's called. It's not great, but it is pretty good for a Santa beard. I've got a little bit something stuck in it. Oh, I probably should have combed it. I've cut it to a sort of square, but now I'm going to shape it into a bit of a U shape, and I wanted you to see me doing that because you have to do it a certain way when you're cutting it, right? So I'm going to sort of like take a little U shape up there, so it's going to be this way around. Or hang on, can it be this way around? It can, but no, I think it's better this way round. So what I'm going to do is, you've got to just snip that back side of it. Do you see what I mean? So you're literally just cutting the material. You're not cutting the hair on the other side of it. Oh, I've got really shaky hands today. It's not good when you're crafting to have shaky hands, is it? There you go. So I'll pull that bit out. Same thing over here. So I'm literally just got the edge of the scissors around the back of the material and nothing else. That's it. So that's more of a U shape now. Can you see? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that out, just to make sure that there's no really, really loose bits that are going to come off anyway. That's it. So that's your beard ready to use in a minute. So now I'm going to turn this inside out. Hope that everything's stuck fast. It should be. It doesn't take very long. And I like just to use the end of a pencil or something or other to push it up so you've still got your point there. Don't forget to say hi, guys, when you're joining in, so I can go back and thank you later for watching. You know I appreciate you all. Now, did I bring some tweezers? Yes, I did. Some really, really cheap tweezers that I got in a set for something. And that is great for pulling this out. Oh no, I've lost a bit. Got a bit there that didn't glue on, so I'm just going to glue that. It's no major big deal. Oh, that wasn't me, that was a dog. Let's try and pull this over. So I'll do that with the tweezers so I don't burn myself. I burn myself all the time with a hot glue gun. I think at some point I'll get my sewing machine out and I'll do a few of these. It would be really good to do and get them sort of all done and looking good and out of the way. Here we go. Right, I'm going to make I think I'm going to make my nose now. And I've got some somewhere on the table, I think. Oh, there it is. I've actually got a piece of Lycra that I like to use for the nose. It's stretchy both ways. You can make it any size you want to. And of course you can do this any way you want to. You can sew it. You can just get hold of it and wrap some string around it. You can put some elastic bands around it. If you are using elastic bands, you have to be a bit careful with your hot glue gun, just in case it catches the elastic bands. But you can, what I do sometimes is I'll do the elastic bands and then I'll put a bit of string around it as well as for extra support. So I'm just cutting this into a rough circle. I like a fairly big nose. That sounds so funny, doesn't it? There you go. And oh, I forgot my filling today. I will show you what I use for my filling. Hang on a tick. There we go. Basically, it's a pillow. We've got a market near us and a couple of very cheap shops, and they sell 2 pillows for £7. So occasionally I'll grab myself a couple of pillows. So I just like to pull it about a little bit, pop that inside, and today I think I'm going to sew it. So that's going to be fine. Let's hope I don't take an age to thread the needle now. Excuse me, I'm a bit coughy today. Not sure why. Right, let's see how easily I can do this. Oh, not a very long thread. Let's hope it'll be okay. Right, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew around this little circle. Don't have to do it particularly neat. Doesn't have to be small, because at the end of the day, it's just getting pulled tight. So it's going to make a little button nose, or a big button nose as I like. I meant to bring some blusher out because I like to pop a bit of blusher on. I did with his nose. I'm not sure if you can see. He's got a little bit of blusher on his nose. gosh, nearly lost the end. Don't want to be doing that. There we go. Now you see, if I was doing this on a video, I could speed this up, but it shouldn't take me very long. So going to make almost like a little bag almost. So, of course, what you can do, you know, you can share this video to yourself if you want to, or you can save it and with your photos, or of course you can just keep coming back and nosing on here. So when you're feeling a little bit more Christmassy, or if you've wanted to go out and get a few bits and pieces to sort of make this, if you're a wine lover, then of course save your bottles. I'm going to have to ask my friends. Oh no, lost it, never mind. Right, okay, so I'm going to pop the filling in. Might be too much, so I'm going to go half in first. Let's try a little bit more. As I said, I do like a big nose. Right, okay, and then I'm going to pull this tight. There you go, that's looking good. That's a lovely size nose, isn't it? You can pull that tight and just sort of like sew it up, make sure it's okay. If you do it with elastic bands and or sort of string, the only problem is you get sort of like a big clumpy bit on the top here, and it's quite hard to sort of flatten it out. Whereas with this, you can just sort of sew it across and it's flatter. Go, and I'll just take it over the other way as well. I'm not sure how well you can see. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. There we go, and then just put a couple of little stitches here to tie it off. Cut that. And then we have our nose. Wow, that is a big nose, isn't it? Right, okie dokie, let's carry on from here. I think the next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to glue the nose to the beard. So you need to make sure you've got the middle of the beard. Be aware of where that is. If you want to, obviously you can put a little mark on it or something. I'm just going to go down probably about 1 centimetre or so. And that's where I'm going to pop my big nose. Nice big blob on there. Sorry about that, the dogs have woken up. There we go, so I'm just going to hold that on, make sure that's okay. Oops. What's the matter, boys? I know. up a little bit underneath, just to make sure it's secure. I don't know what Casper's up to upstairs, but he's up to something. What are you up to, Casper? This is when he likes to steal things when I'm doing a video. I can see you. He hasn't got anything in his mouth. That makes a change. There we go. So there's a nice big nose there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop a little bit of trim around here. Let's see how it's fitting. Pretty perfect. Pretty perfect. Okay. I think I might take away that little point. Just snip that off. So it's easier to trim round. Okay. Now, of course, you can buy all types of sort of fleece and fluffy things and fur. Yeah. Sorry. Fur and things like that. I want to show you what I'm going to use today. This is, isn't it beautiful? This is absolutely beautiful. Now, I think I was given this actually from a lovely friend of mine, but you can buy things like this occasionally in Primark, you know, or second-hand shops, car boot sales, anything like that. Keep your eyes open for them because you can get them there. And you're going to need probably about an inch worth. So I'm going to carry on down with this. Let me just measure to see how long it needs to be. I spoke about in inches, didn't I, before when I was talking about making the hat. I just did that because the lady I was actually watching was also, she was American, so she was talking about inches too. So let's go centimetres. So it's going to be about 22 centimetres. So I'll do 23 just to be on the safe side. Oh, look, it's practically to the end of that bit of lining there. That's absolutely perfect. Now, again, you've got to be careful when you're cutting it. You've got to just get behind that material. Don't cut the fur. Oh no, I'm not going far enough along. That's all right, because I was going to trim that other bit off. So let's cut that there. This just feels so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. The best one I've got, I haven't got it with me actually at the moment, but it's like 3 of these, and it starts off black, then goes lighter, and then it finishes up in white. And do you know what? I bought that from a car boot sale for £1. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe my luck. So again, just trying really hard to be just going underneath the fabric and not the fur. You can do it with a razor blade. I think I might be a bit lethal with a razor blade. I'm not going there. I'm going to keep that because that will be great as like a little cuff, or I was going to do a pom-pom actually, but that might be nice around the top there. I shall see. Right, so let's trim. Oh gosh, what's he had now? Let's just trim off some of this extra here. Again, trying to be really careful. What did you do, Casper? Like he's going to tell me. So I'm just cutting off like all these extra sort of silky bits and that. So when I go to glue it, it's going to be sort of like easier to see what I'm doing. That's the plan anyway. My dogs are like having sort of children when I do a live. Right, okay, let's see how that's looking. That's most of it done. I've got a sequin on that bit. I'm not quite sure where that came from. There you go, that should be okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start with the seam, because that's going to be at the back, okay, and I'm going to start hot gluing that down. I'm going to have some hanging over, and you know, so it's not all at the top, if you know what I mean. So let's start by putting a little bead along there. There you go. Make sure that's pressed in nicely. Hold that for a few seconds. Can always go back round and check on anything that hasn't quite glued, of course. There you go. This is quite therapeutic, this, isn't it? I love it. Hey, Stormy boy. He's an old man. So going around the hat nicely. Oh my goodness, is that going to be long enough? Maybe I didn't quite measure it correctly, although I'm sure I did. Might have to give it an extra pull. We're going to have about 1/2 inch short. So either I can cut a 1/2 inch off of that other bit, or I can just try and sort of blend it over. I'll see how it goes. Let's do this last bit here. My little glue gun bits. Do you know, I think that's going to be all right. I don't think I'm going to worry about adding any more to it. Or I don't know. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop a couple of little tiny bits of glue and just sort of like, you know, create a bit of a hairstyle going on there. Maybe I didn't add that extra inch on. I can't remember. I thought I did, but still, hey. Right, that should be okay now. So let's pop him on the bottle, see how he looks. Ah, okay, so that's got some silvery bits showing still. So what I need to do is I'm going to need to trim that a little bit more and then just pop a little bit more hot glue down there. That's better. Hey, my boy. Hi, Stormy. Right, so I'm just going to pop a few little dots of hot glue just to make sure that's all covered nicely and we haven't got any bits of lining or anything there showing. So just press it down. So that first one I made, as I was saying, I'm giving to my lovely neighbour. So if this one is okay, it might be on my craft stall if I'm brave enough, or I might just do a few more practice runs first of all. That's the only problem. I sort of make these things and I like them and I think, oh yeah, but I'm not really sure if they're good enough to sell. Well, I suppose people don't have to buy them, do they? I think it'll look neater once I've done this. So I need to trim in. Oh, and cut the fur then. Actually glues down really well. It isn't a problem at all. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. I know I haven't been talking to anybody. Thank you for that, Storm. I have to sort of like bend down like that to see you, but I do appreciate you. So don't forget to say hi, then I can go back and thank you after. Last little bits. See, I thought I'd got all that silky stuff off, but I hadn't. But it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Might need my lint roller on him. I've got some lovely cream. It isn't actually a felt material, but it feels like it. I think that would be really nice to do as well. I think that would be quite cool. Last little bit, then we've gone all the way around. Then we can put on his beard and his nose. Yippee! These are so simple to make. Be quite a fun, crafty thing to do, maybe with a child that likes crafts. Obviously you can do the hot glue gun bit and they can just help put it all together and choose like colours and that. So there you go, that's looking better, isn't it? There we go. Oh Storm, why are you so grumbly? Why are you so grumbly? Right, okay, time to put his beard on. I think I'm going to get a bit of blusher because I do like a bit of blusher. I won't be a tick. Because he's gonna have a rosy nose, isn't he? Just try not to get it on his beard though. Cool. So you've got to make sure your seam is at the back so you know where your beard is going to be. So that's basically going to, oh sorry, too low. So it's basically going to be down there. I wonder if I've been too low all the time. Let's bring you up just a tiny bit. Let's see. Okay, right, this is a tricky dicky bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop some glue basically in a straight line all the way over there, including the top of his nose as well. I'm going to try not to put my glue gun on the fur, otherwise I will just be dragging the fur wherever I go. Let's go back to make sure you've got it all. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is, making sure I've got the seam in the middle at the back, just pop that underneath and press it on. Being really careful not to burn yourself in the process. So let's try him on now. Yay, there he is. Now of course you can keep his beard like that, or if you want to you can separate a couple of bits into a little moustache. You can do, obviously it's yours, you can do whatever you like with him. So let me have a think. I think I'm going to do both, you know, as I've got this bit left over. I'm going to pop that around. I'm going to pop that around there, and I'm also going to make him a pom-pom. Let's just check how big that needs to be. I don't want to make it too short like I did the last bit, so let's snip that material. I'm having a lovely morning, you know. I should have been doing my housework this morning, but I finished up having a lovely long chat to my daughter and making a Santa. It doesn't get much better, does it? So, again, I'm going to start where the join is at the back. I'm just going to go all the way around there. It on at the join, wrap it round. There you go, I've still got some extra, so that's all right. I'll trim that off. Don't forget to let me know if you're jumping on. Preferably where you're watching me from. That would be fantastic. And also if you like to do any crafting as well, that would be so cool. So there you go. There's his little top, his top fluffy bit there. But I think I might give him a white pom-pom for the very top there. So I got 3 balls of this beautiful wool with a bit of a shimmer to it. 3 for £1 in Poundland in the UK. And all I'm going to do is, if I can find the end. I think the end's usually stuck up one of these, isn't it? Possibly. Possibly not. Oh, there we go. I've got an end. So all I'm going to do, because I only need a small pom-pom, just going to use 2 fingers, wrap it round. I'm going to do it about, I don't know, maybe 30 odd times. I'm not that I'm counting. But I like quite a full pom-pom. Go, cut another bit to tie it up. So I'm going to slide that off my fingers if I can. There you go. Pop that down in the middle. Tie it up nice and secure. Now, because I don't want a particularly big pom-pom, I'm not even going to worry about cutting the loops. I'm just going to basically cut all round the whole thing. You'll see in a minute. So let's cut those off. Normally you'd cut the loops, wouldn't you? But because I don't need it to be too big, just saves a bit of time. Oh, there's one. There's one I needed to get rid of. Make sure it's as neat as we can make it. One little one there. Give it a little roll around, and there we go. There's our little pom-pom. There's a little loop there and a little bit there that could do with the trim. So one of the flat bits, oh, keep finding little loops now. There we go. One of the flat bits underneath where I was holding it. I'm just going to pop some glue on there, stick it on top, hold it for a few minutes. I also quite like the other sort of material hats, and you can sort of like fold it over and that. There you go. You can't see very well there, can you? Let's lift you up a little bit. There we go. Got a big pillow there that I used for my stuffing. So there you go, that is him basically. So of course you can, you know, if you wanted to give somebody a bottle of wine or something, you can just do this. I really like these. I got these from Amazon. Oh my goodness, there's someone walking past outside, would you believe? I got these from Amazon. This is how they come. It's these little lights. And you unravel them, just pop them down into your bottle. I mean, they're already sort of twisted anyway, so you don't have to do anything with them. Like a coiled spring. Whoops. I think it's taken longer to pop it in since doing it this time than it did sort of the very first time I did it. So this is like a little pretend cork. That goes on there. Then you can flick the switch, pop his little hat on, and there he is. Wouldn't he make a lovely, lovely present for somebody if you wanted to give somebody a bottle of wine? Obviously you wouldn't put the lights in then. But yeah, I think he's really quite cute. Obviously if you want to, you can decorate him some more. On my one I did yesterday, I popped some holly on and a little Christmas thing. I like to pick up things from the pound shop. These are just like little, well, they're called party confetti, just like little crystal things. You can pop up like his hat, make him look nice and bright and cheerful. So that's it basically. I hope you like him. If you do, then I will certainly be doing some more, especially leading up to Christmas. So make sure you're following me, guys, won't you? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really, really appreciate you. And I will be back tomorrow doing something, but I'm not sure what yet. Okay, catch up soon. Loads of love, everybody. Bye.